Hi y'all, it's Chris, and I just wanted to tell you guys about a little project that I got to be a part of about a month ago. So I told myself in 2017 I was going to make an effort to try new things and step out of my comfort zone. And during the first month of 2017 I actually got an opportunity to do so. I received an email asking me to audition for this public service announcement opposing a new anti-trans legislation that's being proposed in Texas. Basically, it's this bathroom bill similar to the bill that went through in North Carolina last year. It's gonna not let transgender people use the bathroom that they identify with, basically. It's not really a huge deal if you pass or if your documents reflect the gender you identify with, but it opens the door for discrimination for transgender people or gender non-conforming people, and really just is not a good step in any direction. I wanted to talk about it because for me it was really fun to be involved with this project. It was run by ACLU of Texas, so that's a really great organization, and they were a big part of this project. Also, this creative agency that I really admire and like dream job one day was the creative side of the project, GSD&M in Austin. So that was really awesome to be inside of their offices and to see some of their team working on this project. Also working on the project was another small creative firm, The Bear, and the video was directed by Richard Linklater, who is an Oscar-nominated director. He directed Boyhood. He's really talented, and I got to talk with him, and that was really fun. I have a lot of friends who are actors and actresses, so I've been kind of immersed in this world for a long time, but it wasn't really something that I thought that I would do. Not that I'm like opposed to ever being on screen for things, but just, I mean I've been in front of the camera to like model for Flaunt or like other small brands, but I don't know, it's not really like trained at acting, and it was just like a small thing, just a few lines or whatever, but I was really nervous because this was a project I felt like really invested in. It has to do with my rights in Texas. So I was really nervous about it, but it turned out really cool. I mean, it was my first audition and I landed it. I just joked with my girlfriend when I went in and I was pretty and smiled a lot, and so I got the part. But it was really cool. I got to meet some really talented actors. I got to learn from some people that are well known in the industry, and I got to be on the other side of the camera because I have some experience being basically like a production assistant at a previous job / internship that I had, and it was just kind of interesting to be the one that was being mic'd up instead of micing the person or doing the sound and whatever. So it was really fun, it's really cool, and I'm gonna link to the video so y'all can go check it out, and be sure to give it a thumbs up. I'm trying to combat all of the negativity that's on the video because we are in Texas and there are a lot of conservative assholes that are trolling the comments, so I recommend really not reading through those comments. They can be really hateful and aggressive, but if you want to check out the video, give it a share and give it a like, that'd be really awesome. And then go to the links I'm going to provide below if you are a Texas resident, so you can figure out how you can help oppose this bill. I did send an email to my state representative, and let's just say that I was not really heard. I received an email this morning that said, women's privacy is just, you know, it's necessary to put through this legislation, which is just ridiculous because all of these trans-related laws are just discrimination disguised as something else, and this one is disguised as a women's privacy issue. And anyone that's ever been in a women's bathroom knows that women's bathrooms have stalls and they're very private, and I have never looked twice at someone using the bathroom next to me, and I've used men's and women's bathrooms, and it's just kind of ridiculous that people think that they can police where people should use a public facility. Laverne Cox has a really good quote about this, and it's basically, to paraphrase it not so eloquently, these type of laws really just determine whether trans people are allowed to be in public spaces, and it's a civil rights issue. So if you take away our rights to use the bathrooms that we identify with or that we feel comfortable in, then we can't go to schools or hospitals or anywhere that's public and be out in the world. So you're containing where we can and can't go, or where we can and can't go safely. So these things, though they seem kind of ridiculous to people and that people don't see the big deal, yeah, for me, I pass fairly well and I'm a trans male, so I have a little bit more privilege and I don't face as much danger going into a restroom, but trans women are some of the most frequent victims of hate crimes, especially in places like public restrooms, especially trans women of color. So these issues really are a big deal. So if you do live in Texas, I urge you to go support the ACLU of Texas. They're fighting constantly for things that matter. Check out the links and, you know, get out and vote. Whenever you can, vote on these types of legislation. Send letters to your representatives, even if they're gonna send you back a shitty email that basically tells you, sorry, but we're not sorry. Just figure out how you can be involved. But all that seriousness aside, it was a really fun project. I'm really happy I got to be involved in it. It's cool to see it circulating online. It's been on the news here in Texas. I've had lots of people text me. It was just kind of fun. It was a really small thing to get involved in, but I definitely think that in the future I might like to get more involved in, well, especially things like this, because I'm really interested in using my voice, using my platforms, and also being an activist. So it was fun for my first step into like the acting world to be this public service announcement regarding like a new political problem in Texas. But I definitely would like to do maybe some like fun, more lighthearted auditions in the future. I think it'd be fun to like be on camera and challenge myself in a different creative field. I've loved watching some of my other friends excel at being actors, and I do know that trans representation is growing within the media, so it'd be good to see more faces. Whether I don't know, I'll just be on the lookout if there's any web series or auditions for shows or anything. Austin is kind of a booming market for that, so it's not something that I'm gonna count off my table. I kind of had fun doing it, so I'm glad that I crossed something off my 2017 bucket list. But yeah, I think it's important to step out of your comfort zone and sometimes do things, because one, this was a rewarding project, so I'm glad I did it regardless, but it was nice to know that I'm capable of doing something that I didn't necessarily know I could do, or that I would be good at, or that I would be a good face for. And I'm glad I did it too, because I have a big audience, so I got to share it with basically like tens of thousands of you across YouTube and Instagram and Tumblr and whatnot. So thanks for watching, and please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and be sure to check out that video and support trans people. Donald Trump just rolled back on the protection for trans students. It's more important than ever to stand up for trans people if you're an ally or if you are a trans person. Make sure that your voice is being heard. I'm sure there's protests that are going to be happening. And don't lose hope, because states can individually decide to still have protections for trans students and trans individuals. So probably not in Texas, but if you're in a more progressive state, you might be in better luck. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.